the most important piece of what happened a year and a half ago is why did Twitter, especially, Facebook did it too, but why did Twitter ban the New York Post account and suspend people for talking about this? How did that meeting happen at Twitter? Who was in charge? Was there a boardroom meeting? Was there a policy meeting? Was there a lawyers meeting? Who was in charge of that meeting? And did those people, what was the information they used to decide to ban and suspend people for posting something that now turns out to be true? Did those people have any connection to the Democrats? Did they have any connection to the Biden campaign? Like, what was the policy? If we don't find that out, we'll never get to the truth. And unfortunately, I don't think we'll find that out. But it just does tell you, if you're on social media, we are playing a fixed game. We are all playing a fixed game where they can control the information, they can control the algorithms and who sees what and when they see it and what's true and what's misinformation and everything else. Here's a chronic misinformation specialist and liar in chief, Jen Psaki, on the Hunter Biden Report.
The New York Times has authenticated emails that appear to have come from a laptop abandoned by Hunter Biden in Delaware. The president previously said that the New York Post story about this was a bunch of garbage and that it was a Russian plant. Does he stand by that assessment?
I've pointed the Department of Justice and also to Hunter Biden's representatives. He doesn't work in the government. Go ahead.
Jen, I actually like what you did there. Did you just refer the journalists to the Department of Justice about this situation? Because I don't know how corrupt they are at this point. I don't know if there's anything left over there, but maybe they should be looking into it because you know you just got caught, lady. Here's Joe Biden a little bit before the election saying how the whole thing is nonsense. And I really, really want you to listen to it because it's not just that he says it's nonsense, but guess who he blames? You're not going to believe it.
So what about the Americans who really today only want me to ask you about Hunter Biden's laptop? How are you going to get them to see that you are fighting for them when they're so dead set against you?
There's nothing to any of that. Nothing to any of that. It's all a smear. Every major outfit, every serious investigator has pointed out that this is a smear. This is classic Trump. We have 4 days left, and all of a sudden there's a laptop. And you may recall there's also talk about 4 months before there was a similar thing that somebody had, allegedly. There's overwhelming evidence that from the intelligence community that the Russians are engaged. I mean, look, my son's an honorable man, and all the investigations that were done around the issue of what was going on in Ukraine, if you notice, every one of the major people who worked for Trump during the impeachment went under oath, and under oath said Biden did his job. No law was broken. This Biden did his job. Hunter Biden broke no laws. That was the testimony. Their testimony from Republicans and intelligence community people.
God, he is a mind-muddled moron. He really is. And that's a depressing statement to say. I wish the president of the United States, even if he had policies that I did not agree with, I wish that he was in better shape than that man. But I want to point out to a couple things he said there. First off, nothing here is true. It's all a smear, blah, blah, blah. Every major outlet and our intelligence services are saying that. Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. Because there seems to be collusion between our intelligence services and the experts and then mainstream media. They just parrot all the stuff. It's a shell game. It's a funneling of lies through the entire system. So yes, you're right about that, Joe, but that's the problem in the first place. And then, of course, he blames Trump as if Trump had something to do with this, that Trump somehow created this laptop situation and the emails and all that. And Russians are engaged. Ah, yes. So are you saying Russians meddled with the election and tried to get Trump elected? Because if you did say that, and even if it didn't come to pass, wouldn't you be doing something about that right now? God, they lie about everything. I mean, this is close to impeachment level stuff, right? So what he just said there, I mean, basically blaming Trump, lying about the laptop. I mean, I get it that it was done before he was president, but the whole presidency now seems to be based on a lie. The whole presidency seems to be based on a lie, on top of the fact that the presidency in the year plus of his administration has been a horrific disaster, by far the worst in my lifetime. And I think many people could argue this might be the worst administration in American history. In American history, this might be worse than Carter. This might be worse than some of the others a long time back. everything seems to be collapsing. They seem to be intentionally destroying the system, and they seem to want to usher in their Great Reset, their New World Order, whatever it is. But please show me something that Joe Biden is doing that is pro-America, that is helping ordinary Americans.